hello everyone. Oh my god. Sorry, I just downed a bunch of pills. Not those kind. We're just gonna be drawing tonight. Hello Ian, hello Q, hello Michael. Oh my god, there we go. Pills? Are you alright? Yeah. It was just like some Tylenol. No worries. Nothing like, I don't know, I don't have those prescription thingies. I'm too poor for that. I love Advil. Yeah, right? Northern Lights. Maybe next time. Hello, Charles. Is this Charlie? Is this Charles? Chair? I don't know. Let's see if we can... I don't know, I have like half an idea for tonight. Just half an idea. We'll see if we can turn it into a full idea within the next hour. That's what we're gonna... Maybe... 2Ds? Draw anime girl brain rot? No, shut up, Q. No. Okay, Bing. Maybe like that. Look, I've never drawn this character before, so I'm figuring it out as we go. It's fine. Is the snoot that long? We'll adjust as we go. Oh, Taco Bell? Getting more Taco Bell? Oh my god, okay. Sure. You know what? I guess they're allowed to do what they want. You know, as long as they're having a good time, right? Sounds funny though. We'll do it like that. Yeah. Make him. But the game is already doing that to him. Who is this? This is Theodore. He's the protagonist of Rain Check. I've been enjoying recording Rain Check. It's fun. Like, maybe your protagonist being a himbo might be a little grating to some people, because all the other characters just treat him like an idiot. But not in, like, the rudest way. It's more like a character will say something, Theodore will just stare, and then the character will go, oh, okay, so I'll explain. Or they'll just be like, don't worry about it. Hello, Nines. Though he does have a silly X on his forehead, so we need to draw that. Perspective on this is going to be a little weird. He's a big boy, so because like everyone in rain check is huge for some reason. I think Theodore is like 6'7". And like the short member in the cast is like, yeah, for some reason, yeah, like I get it. Like the shortest member of the cast is like 5'7". You just look at the sprites in that game and you're like, Jesus, why is everyone like this? But also keep going. He has this big ass hoodie. Everyone's himbo build. I mean, it's kind of just Theo. I mean, Ro is real big, but he's like competent. I assume he is the main love interest because he is Wolfer. I realized I was saying his name wrong for the first, like, 8 or 9 parts, so that's fun. I've been saying, like, Rao for him, and then I heard someone pronounce it as Ro, and by someone I mean the creator of the game. So I'm like, oh. It's just like, oh no. How is it spelled? It's like R-O-U. So I was like, Rao? That's reasonable, right? That's right? That's a reasonable mispronunciation. Like Ro? Wouldn't that be like is that a spelling for a name? Is that normal? Is like R-O-U? Is that a common thing? He's red even? Yeah, he is. He is. Ro is how that would be spelled? Look, I don't know. I can't even, like, pronounce the scene correctly. It's Sean, right? Why is it spelled that way? It should be pronounced scene, okay? Same with Dylan. we just culturally pronounce those names wrong, okay? Like it should be it should be Dylan. Yeah, the hourglass. I can't tell if it's supposed to be an hourglass or an X, because in some pieces of artwork, it looks like an X, and in some of them, it looks like an hourglass, and I just don't know. So we're just gonna wing it, you know? We're just gonna decide and live with our mistakes. Yeah, like this, and even in the profile pic for like the Discord and the what's it called? The Twitter, the website formerly known as Twitter, like it's an X. And I'm like, bro, I don't know. And in a lot of the artwork by the creator, it's an X. And I'm like, ah. I don't know how thick he should be. You know, because it's a hoodie, and hoodies make everyone look thicker than how they normally are, right? That's just science. Ah, hello, Shioki. Follow your heart. Oh, that's never good though. Ah, Charles, hello. Let's try to actually like fix up this hand real quick. Let's try to make a hand actually look like a hand today. Granted, I know that mine never do, but that's fine. We like our weird blocks that we pretend are hands and fingers, right? If Lego can get away with it. Oh, that's Lego, though. They have nostalgia backing. I can't compete with that. There, that kind of looks like... That's like almost a hand. It's like, it has the semblance of a hand, right? That's what we're going for. Maybe this should be higher up, actually, for perspective purposes. At least it's not comparable to AI. It would be really easy for an AI program to replicate my artwork, though. Just because of how simple it is. Like, actually. It's just that most people try to use AI to replicate, like, what people perceive as, like, more fine arts. So, you don't see a lot of, like, the cartoonish stuff around. Oh, he has little claws. Should I put in little claws? Should I start doing that on fingers? Should I start putting in, like, little claws? Toe claws and stuff. Well, like, it was like a way of differentiating them. Oh my god. And it was like partially to distract from how poorly I draw feet. Because sometimes adding design elements distracts people. It's an age-old tradition. Just look at anime. we go. We'll try to clean this up a bit, you know. An impossible hairstyle. Oh my god. Look, cosplayers deserve to cry if they're going to be cosplaying like jank anime designs. It's like I don't particularly like cosplay. I don't like doing it. Don't like... I hardly ever like compliment people on theirs. I've complimented one person at a convention on their cosplay once. And they looked so happy when I did so. It was very weird. But like I had to compliment them because it was a girl dressed up as Kira Flora. And she was just sitting all by herself at a like on a bench. So I just walked up and was like, "Oh, nice. That's a really good like Kira Flora like dress," because like it was clearly like all handmade and the dress looked really good. And it's like, oh, clearly a lot of work went put into that. And she's just like, "Oh, you know who Kira Flora is?" Like that. Like, it was kind of one of those. She was both really confused and really happy that someone recognized it. So there, that was my one, the one person I've complimented their cosplay. Hello, Crystal. I love that person. Yeah. Look. Kira Flora is like my favorite protagonist in anime. Like, she's the best. She's at least in like top 10 for sure of protagonists ever in fiction. So, you know. Like, we love seeing a girl failure. Like, she's a girl failure, but you actually cheer for her. It's one of those rare things where you're like, no, wait. Gambare. Because boy, is that show so rude to her. The amount of times that this like girl gets suplexed into the Earth's crater is staggering. But that's okay. She makes it out all right. She's like crying every other episode, but she's doing it. She's making it. She makes it out all right. She does, though. She does, though. Like, the way it's very Japanese, right? But it's very much a, like, in that final episode, you see her smiling as an adult, and you're supposed to know that she, like, made it through life okay. Like, we don't actually know how she's doing, we just know that she's okay. It's like, for me, it's like Kira Flora and Kiriel. Those are like the two. Those are the two that I stand forever. Oh, hello, Roller. And it's like, I get that people don't like Kiriel. I get it. I understand. They're wrong, but... Like, please look forward to my 5-hour video essay titled "The Greatest Goodbye Scene in All of Fiction." I cry every time. With a cure, with a Hugto Precure thumbnail. That's not happening. Oh, Wolverine, hello! Sometimes I think about making, like, fake video essay thumbnails. just to annoy people, you know? Here's why. No. See ya, Ninza. I think I made a joke in, like, the Arches playthrough that was like... I need a video essay titled, like, Alvin and the Chipmunks Meet the Werewolf. Ruins Alvin and the Chipmunks or something like that. Which I still hold that opinion. That's like that's what that movie does. It's like, I feel like we can't make Alvin and the Chipmunks content post that movie. Because that movie just completely destroys the dynamic of that trio. Probably without realizing it. It sounds so bait, it's perfect. Your visual novel is mad. Is that what I need to do to get popular? Make a multi-hour video essay about Adastra. Is that what I call it? Like, your favorite visual novel is bad, and have an Amicus thumbnail. The answer is yes. I know of the man. That's about it. Like, I have never watched his content. Me watching other YouTuber content, please. My subscription box is like 100 different VTubers, usually in languages I don't speak. Like 5, maybe upwards of 10, like, card game YouTube channels, and then maybe 3 video essayist YouTubers. You know, because I say I don't watch those, but, like, there's, like, a couple of those YouTubers I like. And I bet you can't guess all 3. And no, Lindsay Ellis doesn't count. She's not a YouTuber anymore. Oh, who am I drawing? Oh, this is a character named Theodore. He's from an 18+ video game, so not for you, Roller. No, not from an anime. You know, Japan doesn't really make television shows with, like, furry characters. Not really. It's definitely not the 80s anymore. We used to get, like, a handful here and there, though not like ones most people would watch, right? Like, I don't think people are going to be chomping at the bit to watch Mapletown's Story or whatever. Good anime, but it's also from, like, the 80s, and it looks really old. And it's like a 200 episode long, no story, only episodic adventures, like, kind of anime. Very influential, a lot of cool staff members on it. One of those type of productions. Fondly remembered in Japan, you see a ton of references to it in a bunch of media. To get them canceled. I mean, people in, like, the furry community don't really get canceled, right? Like, the worst thing is, like, just being ostracized from that community. Well, like, people get canceled, Michael, but, like, they're not, like, canceled in the way that, like, other people on general media tends to be. You know, they're not JK, right? Like... Or, like, Neil Gaiman's wife. Or Neil Gaiman himself now. That took a while, didn't it? I feel like I've been joking for like 2.5 years of like, Neil Gaiman needs to release everything he needs to soon, because he's getting canceled. It's taken a while. Granted, it doesn't seem to have stopped his career, so... yeah. Not familiar with him? Don't worry about it, Joe. Only, like, nerdy nerds who are nerds know about Neil. Remember when he won an award for how well written his Twitter was? Yeah, that was weird. I remember seeing that award and going like, you're shitting me. And then I went to his Twitter and I went, this was like way back in like 2013, 2014, something like that. This was a long time ago. And then I went to his Twitter and I'm like, this is one of the best written Twitter accounts I've ever experienced. It became like a small meme for a minute where it's just like, is there anything Neil can't write well? Because despite what people might say about the man now, he will basically always be remembered for how tactful his writing is. On top of the cancellation, of course, of course. Because he do write some real good books. And those books, we will be copying forever. I mean, arguably J.K. Rowling did. You know, remember that controversy? Where you look at Book of Magic, and then you look back at Harry Potter, and then you look at Book of Magic, and then back at Harry Potter, and you're like, huh. That unspeakable individual. You know, they did go out of their way to ruin their own lives. I hope they're happy, yeah, like with that decision. There we go, that cleaned up his... We've cleaned up his face quite a bit. It looks pretty alright now. What art program? This is called Paint Tool Sci. Free? No. I mean, technically anything on the internet can be free, if you know what you're doing. Not that I endorse that or anything, just an observation. There we go. Okay. Oh, I should probably adjust his, like... I know it's supposed to look like chin scruff, the little triangles along his jawline, while looking like a tiger stripe thing. It's a little weird. I don't dislike it, though. Don't. Get these a bit more proportionate. That probably means I can't add chin scruff to him. fundamental paper education. I don't really watch YouTube videos. I'm like too busy. Because, you know, like I said earlier, I'm really only subscribed to, like, a couple card game YouTube channels, because that's my main hobby. Like some... let's see here. A bunch of VTubers. Because I like that shit. And, that's basically it. But anything that people, like, would call, like, viral here on YouTube, I'm like, who? What? Huh? Like, people will tell me the name of, like, a popular current YouTuber, and I just go, I've never heard of them. And in turn, I'll be like, oh my god, Fuwamoko released a single this week. Oh, that's cool. And people will be like, who the fuck? And I'm like, Fuwamoko! They're the most subscribed, like, group on... for Hollow Advent. Yeah, everyone knows who Fuwamoko is. Like, I get it. Though I haven't been watching too much Hollow Justice, the new Hololive group that came out like a couple months ago. Like, I can't even remember all their names. Like, I really only remember Elizabeth Bloodflame, because what a name. King's Flame Fuko from Lies of P. Yes, yes. Sometimes I see those games on sale, like your Lies of P and your Elden Rings, and I'm like, do I want to go back? And then I have to convince myself not to. And then instead I just boot up original Dark Souls and play the Undead Burg again. I feel like I can play that level, like, forever and be happy. It's like, oh my god, it's the only finished feeling Dark Souls level. It's like, look how it's designed in order for, like, any build to be able to finish any of these encounters without, like, doing too much, and how many, like, extra gimmicks there are to where you can circumvent whole zones in the Undead Burg via items they give you, just to, like, look what you can do with these mechanics, and then those mechanics will never be good again. Oh well. It's the same with, like, Bloodborne, where I'm just like, how come you have all of these extra mechanics, but none of them do anything? Because, like, the game doesn't allow you to really give you the opportunity to use the other gimmicks in the game. You know, because everything's constantly trying to kill you, and so, like, what's the point of these other mechanics? But I understand people like that game. It's fine. I know I'm the weird one. Though occasionally it's fun to just, like, play the beginning of the game. I feel like that's most of, like, Miyazaki's games, is, like, I'll usually like the first couple areas, and then I'll hate everything after a certain point. Where I'm just like, wait a minute. This feels unfinished, or blatantly designed for multiplayer. Miraculous Ladybug. That series is so mediocre. I think my issue with Miraculous Ladybug is, like, the creator was really open about development of that series while developing it. So if you were around back in the day, you pretty much know the different drafts and versions of Miraculous Ladybug. And, some of those I liked a lot more than the final product we got. Like, I think the nail in the coffin for me was when they ditched Felix for Adrian. Because I just don't like Adrian as a character. Especially compared to Felix. And Felix was a lot better in the role of Chat Noir. At least if they were still... Because they wanted to downplay the dynamic that the original pitch was about. So, like, I get it. But with Felix's Chat Noir, it made it so that there was a larger difference between Felix, Chat Noir, Ladybug, and Marionette, and, like, that dynamic was a lot better. If they wanted to, like, push, like, more drama between, like, the characters and their alters. Because there used to be, like, a bigger personality shift when, like, characters transformed. And that was kind of removed from the final, like, product. And I'm like, I don't know about that one, friend. Yes, it makes it easier to understand the characters at first glance. Because you don't have to, like, keep track of 2 different personalities per character. Which I'm sure was part of the reason why they made that change. Especially for, like, guest writers, it makes it easier for them to write it, right? Because when you have a TV show, like, most episodes are going to have different writers. I'm gonna say that the show is French, and things are different in France. Because, boy, as soon as you go up to, like, French teenage television, they be wildin'. Granted, I'm not, like, the biggest expert when it comes to, like, French production and television. I don't watch a lot of it. I don't research a lot of it either, so that's a fairly big blind spot for me. And I'm so unfamiliar with France culturally that I find their television a bit hard to watch. Just because it's like, oh, I am missing a lot every time I watch this. That's annoying. Like, characters will say things, and I'm like, oh, man, that's probably a, like, colloquialism. Whatever that word is pronounced, that I'm just, like, unfamiliar with. Or probably a reference to something in pop culture over there that I'm unfamiliar with. That always, like, bugs me a little bit when I'm watching television. But that's a my fault thing for not doing enough research beforehand. Though that didn't stop me from watching all of Dofus. Which, 10 out of 10. That show's amazing. Much better than its, franchise it's connected to. Look, I don't hate Wakfu. I just think Wakfu gets actively worse with every season. Yeah. It's a little jank. And imagine getting cucked by yourself. Like, oh, poor Yugo. It's okay. That joke will only make sense if you've watched the really awful season 3 of Wakfu. Because, boy, that was when they gave up and just went, no, we just want to be Dragon Ball. They changed what's-his-name to just look like Frieza, which was kind of weird. Wasn't a big fan of that change. Let's... Do I actually want to draw this hand, or do I want to reposition this to where I don't have to draw this hand? Decisions. Oh yeah, that was Cameron's theme. What a cute little lad. It is weird that in the final, like, build, that one CG no longer comes up with Brian and Cameron. I wonder why that is. Oh yeah, I also think that playthrough is ending this coming week. They had to cut me off. Oh, that's true though. It's like, no, I get it. I understand. I am the problem when it comes to that. Maybe it was because of your reaction. I don't even like I want to say they wouldn't know my reaction, but I just don't know anymore. It's like I just don't know. Cries in hyper tweet. A little bit. Like, oh my god, Ian, like last night I was chatting with Messer, right? And Messer had mentioned that he posted some of my artwork in another server. And like apparently Captain Nico replied to it asking like, oh, is that Josh's artwork? Is that MrJosh's artwork? And I'm like, no, he can't know me. He can't recognize my work. No. No. It doesn't feel right. It just like it's very hard to explain. It doesn't feel right. Papu first. Stop. It's recognizable. That's not a good thing. Oh my god. That actively got my grade lowered in art school. Yeah, You're just too iconic. No. No. Man, so I was for a while like editing some stuff for like the streams for BioShock 2. I ended up getting bored and switching over to the BioShock Infinite streams to like edit those down. You know, because I got bored. And man, that playthrough was a time. That playthrough is such a time. I was really saying and doing whatever the fuck I wanted. It was also kind of makes me go like, huh, maybe that one is just my favorite. Look at all the birds. That was something I didn't think about until I streamed that game, and it's like, huh, I think this one was my favorite just because of how much birds are in it. It's like there's a whole bunch of bird plushies, you have multiple bird advertisements. It's good. Look around, it's just like, look at all the bird stuff. Bird representation. It's true. The memory of was very vague. Do you remember when I shot a man in public and no one noticed? That's a pretty good moment. And nobody noticed. Pasta literally was typing out that part. It's the most iconic part of that playthrough, for sure, for sure. I hated that guy. Oh, no. Oh, God. Why do I have a notification on Discord? Oh. Okay. New episode of Beyblade got released. Josh's charisma is too powerful. See, it's really weird. I feel like my rolls for charisma are either like a 2 or they're a 22. And there is no in between. They have control over their spinning tops. Oh my god. Wait, Silky, I know all of you have this channel muted on the on the Discord. But if you go into VTuber Cult, the last post that I made there should be like the second to last one. It's like the VTuber Ollie going like, what the fuck, to like watching Beyblade footage. Like, actual tournament footage of Beyblade. It is the hypest shit I've ever seen. Like, I don't know how the Beyblade did that. Other than, like, clearly the person projected it. They used their strength of will to win that battle. It's insane. A D2? Isn't that just a coin? How did it get there? It bounced. Like, they shot it down, it bounced out of the arena, spun on the top, hopped back into the arena on the opponent's Beyblade, and knocked it out. I can't, like, how did that happen? Shit's insane. Anime moment, right? After your allowance that people on your Discord are 10 years old, lying about their age. It's really hard to lie about your voice. Because most people join into the voice call. Also, there's like a paywall, so it like actively discourages like kids from joining. Also, I would just ban them if like a child joined that Discord. Like that's just how it is. That's the way it's gotta be. Quieto. Beyblade was like that more often, right? Maybe it is. Maybe Beyblade tournaments are just sick as fuck and like nobody knows because people don't believe. People don't believe in their Beyblade hard enough. I can confirm that the way that people act in a card game anime is how people act at a tournament. And by that I mean literally me, as I have to say the whole ass paragraph long summoning chant anytime I do anything. And my opponent just has to deal with it, because they know I'm winning that turn. It's like Gomen Asari to all of my friends that has to, like, sit there as I play Dimension Police. Because, boy, as soon as we hit GB6... Oh, we're doing the full-ass, like... the full-ass monologue. When I stride into Bravest Peak X Gallop. Then again, most of the Yu-Gi-Oh people I know, you know, Yu-Gi-Oh players don't watch the anime because they're cringe, and they don't want to interact with the based part of the franchise. So like, they don't know the thingy things. And if they do, they only know the American summoning chants. And the American summoning chants are so lame. The Japanese ones, that shit goes so hard for no reason. Like, none at all. I'll never forget when Kaito summons Galaxy Eyes Cypher Dragon the first time. That extra ass, like, shit that he says. Oh god, what was it? I think it was something along the lines of, like, Galaxy shining in the darkness, become a god of revenge and obey me as my servant. Descend upon us! And I'm like, why is this child talking like this? It's like, sir? You're like 12. Actually, I think the cast of Zeal was like a little bit older. I think they were like 14. I want to say they were in high school. They might have been in middle school. It's always hard to tell. Gotta educate them. Anytime I play against Mikey, not Michael, sorry. We call him Mikey. The writer of, what's that game called? Oh fuck, Violet Memoir, of that visual novel. Because sometimes I'll play Yu-Gi-Oh with him, and anytime he plays an anime deck. And every time he plays it, I'm just like, oh, why don't you say the summoning chant, Mikey? Or, like, he'll say, like, because he plays Solomon Greats, right? So he's a loser, right? Because he plays Solomon Greats. But he'll be like, use same name to link summon into whatever, right? Like, link off Sunlight Wolf into Sunlight Wolf. And my reaction will always be like, you mean a reincarnation link? Mikey, it's a reincarnation link. Mikey, don't you want to say open the circuit that leads to the future when you link summon? Mikey, don't you want... And he's just like, shut the fuck up. I'm trying to do my combo. It's very fun. Get in his head, right? Well, against him, it's like, I basically will auto-lose, just because, like, I don't want to play Yu-Gi-Oh! That much. And he goes to regionals and nationals and stuff, and I'm just like, yeah, I don't want to deal with, like, deal with that. Like, I don't want to have to actually, like, try to play. Then at this point, no deck I own has real cards in it anymore. I've taken out all of the hand traps in my deck so I could play with Grizz better. So it's just kind of like, eh. He's gonna compete in a bad game. I know, right? Like, he plays other better card games, but he plays a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! Just because, like, it's one of the big three, so it's like, arguably the most tolerable to play of the big three. Don't quote me on that. Arguably. Teach him Final Fantasy. He's, like, not into it. Because they don't really sell it where he lives, so he's just like, nah, no point. But we will talk about the Digimon card game a lot, because he actually, like, his main game is the Digimon card game. So he'll always be like, Josh, what you play in this format? And I'm like, Leomon, again. It's like, we're just gonna play the Leomon deck every format until it's not viable anymore. The game has to, like, really change for Leomon to not be a viable, like, rogue deck. Because, like, shit. That deck, like, answers every deck in the... Like, every single metagame. It's like, wait, Leomon has an out to every deck here. Every format. But Japan's really weird. And that's, they will pretty much always exclusively use the newest decks. Probably so that their format doesn't get stale, right? Like, that's just the thing they do over there. How expensive is Digimon? It's now starting to become expensive. Because they changed the pull rates last block. And changed the ratios of super rares in a box. Like, not in a box, in a set. So, like, they increased the number of super rares per set, and then made them harder to pull. So it's, the newest sets are all pretty expensive to buy what you want. So if you want to build, like, one of the newest decks, or, like, a protagonist deck specifically, you're in for a rough time. But all the old staples are really cheap. Weirdly enough. Like, it is still cheaper to get into the Digimon card game than, like, most other TCGs on the market. Mainly because the way that Digimon is balanced as a card game, it's... You have a tier 1, which is the majority of decks currently... Like, a lot of the newest decks, right? So, like, your blue hybrid deck, which is running around just murdering people. Stuff like that. But, and then everything else is tier 2. Like, the way that the game works is, like, you have 3 decks in tier 1, nearly the entire game is tier 2, and then, like, a handful of archetypes in tier 3 that just don't work. Which there are just, like, a handful of archetypes that just never... They never figured out how to make them work properly. Which means that, like, if you do have, like, a favorite Digimon or a favorite tamer, you can probably build them and be fine. Just fine. Is Evergreen as a deck you would recommend to a new player? Leomon's a pretty easy deck to pilot, asterisk. It's in theory a very easy deck to pilot. Like, its combo lines aren't varied. The problem with Leomon is you need to know how to resolve effects in proper order to do what you want per turn. Yeah. Because Digimon has a you resolve as much of the skill as possible, and you resolve skills in any order you want when effects... when they are put on standby at the same time. You resolve them in any order. And the Leomon deck is all about creating a chain of on-death effects, you know, because you do want your Leomon to die, as is tradition. So you'll have like a whole bunch of inherited effects on your Leomon that trigger upon death. And so it's figuring out which effects to stack onto your Leomon, and then how to resolve them to beat the deck you're currently playing against. And it is going to be different per turn, per matchup. So it is, like, neat. And it's a very resilient deck, because one of the main keywords for Leomon is a keyword called Fortitude, which is when it is destroyed, while it has what's called evolution sources. Which is just like, you know, because when you evolve, you stack your... You create a stack, essentially, on one Digimon. So, like, if you have evolution cards underneath of it, that Leomon can then be revived. But it won't have evolution sources anymore. So it's a way for you to, like, keep a board presence while still answering your opponent's board. And so the Leomon deck is a little tricky, just because you do need to know how to pilot it, because it is more of a toolboxy deck, despite how linear the deck reads. Because it reads very linearly. You know, you have all your level 4s basically... No, excuse me. Like, all of your level 3s will search your Leomons. Like, all Leomon named cards. All of your level 4s pretty much have on attacking evolve into a level 5 Leomon. All of your level 5 Leomon will have on evolution effects to either generate you advantage or decrease the opponent's advantage. And then all of these cards will have inheritable effects that give whatever Leomon they're stacked under, like, on death triggers. And then knowing which level 6 Leomon to go into is another decision point that's pretty crucial, because you're going to be running some number of copies of Heavy Leomon, which is a board control kind of guy. Because he has, like, on Evo, you de-evolve something. It's on evolution and on death. He has, like, this effect triggers on both of those. You de-evolve something your opponent controls, and then you bottom deck something of 6k power or lower. And then he also has the end of attack. You bottom deck something 4k or lower, and if nothing was sent to the bottom of the deck, he can attack again that turn. Because he'll restand, sorry. While Bonsho Leomon's whole gimmick is he's a tax tool. Oh, also, Heavy Leomon has Fortitude, so he comes back upon death. Bonsho Leomon does not have Fortitude, which makes him a little bit more of a liability. But he has a continuous skill that anytime a Digimon is rested, either for attack, cost, effect, whatever, that you can target a Digimon the opponent controls, minus its power by 4k, and its security attack by 1, which means it can't deal damage to you. So you have to decide between, like, a tempo tool that can push for damage, as well as that can maintain your board presence, or a tax tool. And understanding, like, which Leomon to go into at different points in the game is very important. And of course, how you resolve your on deletion stacks and stuff. So it's a really fun deck to play, but it is a deck that requires a little bit more thought than not at all, despite how linear the deck can read, like I mentioned before. Oh. Ah, hello, Alex. Oh, yeah. Have a good night, Alex. Yeah, let's see here. Here we go. We're not gonna do a full inking. Okay, we're gonna do just like a crayon border. I hope that's okay. Maybe one day I'll do a full ink job for a character in this game. Cause like I said, I am enjoying Rain Check quite a bit. It is more of a, weirdly a bit more of a police procedural, which was something that like the creator had mentioned. I think they specifically were like they wanted like a almost NCIS type kind of like feel. Yeah, it's fun though. Drawfee collab? No. I don't even like Drawfee that much. No offense to them, of course. Like they sound like lovely people. I have watched some of their content. They do sound like lovely people. But aside from what was their name? Is it Karina? I like Karina, but like that's about it. Well, I liked all of them, like as people, but like content-wise, I'm like, not my thing. Karina is good though. Like, I'm so sad that their AMV they uploaded to their personal YouTube channel like 15 years ago got taken down. Cause like because they just had this like weirdly well edited AMV for the Yu-Gi-Oh anime franchise set to like some song by I think the band was like My Chemical Romance or something. I don't know bands, guys. And it was just really funny that it's just very good. Like, I thought it was really funny that if you like when the video was still up, right? If you could scroll to the comments and Rada had commented on it going like shit's kind of fire. And like yeah, if you don't know who Rada is, he's a Yu-Gi-Oh YouTuber that hates being called a Yu-Gi-Oh YouTuber. He's based. He's also way too funny for this planet. Like, it's kind of great. I love how that man hates how funny he is. To the point where, like, when he makes a viral joke, he will stop mentioning the joke, because he's like, oh no, what have I done? I can't believe it. I can't believe he was the one who made the "It's Morbing Time" tweet for Morbius when that movie came out, and he just doesn't mention it. He just doesn't mention it at all. He refuses to talk about the movie. He refuses to talk about the joke. Yeah, that was him, Michael. If you look up the tweet, it's fucking his profile picture. Cause it's still that one, like, cause his profile pic is almost always that girl from Little Witch Academia. I forget her name. You know the one. You know the one. But yeah, he's too funny for this planet. I think that's the reason why he, like, barely makes Yu-Gi-Oh! Videos anymore, is he's just like, please. Can't argue with trains, oh my god. I don't even know... I don't think he actually, like, plays the game anymore, either. Then again, saying people quit modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Is like, wow, what else is new? Must be Tuesday. It's like, oh, another competitive player publicly quits on social media? Me simply asking, why haven't you done this already? Like, come on. He's a pretty cute Tigor. Not gonna lie. Like, he's bullyable. And definitely one of the characters bullies him. Yeah, Says Mikey, a known Yu-Gi-Oh! Player. I mean, the big three is just, like, they're so kind of bad to play right now. And now we have other options. Like, it's not like how it was, like, 15 years ago, right? Where it's like, you had to play one of the big three. It's no, we have choices now. You can choose to just play a better game. It's like, bruh, you can play Digimon. You can play, like, a Battle Spirits, like a neutered version of it in English, but, like, you can still use the Battle Spirits, like, game system, which is one of the better game systems ever created. You have Wicross if you're willing to stare at women. But damn, like the Wicross format in Japan right now, insane. It's actually showing up all other TCGs. It's one of the best playing, like, really interactive card games currently on the market because they brought back Arts, which was like... It's basically like having counter traps in Yu-Gi-Oh! In your extra deck. And, like, you can play them on any turn. So they brought that mechanic back to Wicross, and, like, everyone loves it because it's, oh look, now games are even less one-sided. Yeah, the extra deck in Wicross is, like, spell cards, specifically, and it's just shit like Graceful Charity, or, Card of Demise and stuff, just, like, in the extra deck, but they're only one-ofs, and you can't recycle them. So you end up having, like, an extra deck filled with, like, insane value engines, and, phase enders, is what we typically call them. Because you'll just have cards that just say end the opponent's battle phase. or dark hole your opponent's board on their turn. But, like, they come off as very fair because they're in the extra deck and they're one-ofs and you can't recycle them. And when you see what colors your opponent is playing, you know that they have access to it and you can plan around that. And you can't OTK somebody in Wicross. Wicross is a game that you will have to chip damage at your opponent over the course of 3 to 5 turns before you actually, like, win a game. Looks at you, Luna Freya. It's a little more egregious in Wicross because you'll have cards that will say, like, draw until you have 5 cards in hand. And those cards aren't even good. Which is, like, the extra weird part. Luna the Freya. It's true, it's true. Look, Luna the Freya, her new card, insane. Within the context of the Final Fantasy card game. If that card was in Wicross, you wouldn't play it. It's not good enough. Like I said, like, Graceful Charity is a costless extra deck card in Wicross. Doesn't see play. It's just not good enough. You have better filtering options. And it's like, why would I play Chimed of the Blessed Key when I can play what was it? Madoka Float, which is discard 1, draw 3. Or MC Lion Dig, which lets you reveal the top 5 cards of your deck and add 2 to your hand. Yeah. Granted, once the art cards come back in, you will no longer use Lyric Assists. Which was a fun mechanic while they supported it. But we did have Lyric Assists for, like, 6 years now? So it doesn't feel like that mechanic didn't get its time to shine. And, like, everyone kind of universally agreed that, like, Arts was a better mechanic. Yeah, they just wanted to do something different for a block. Look how cute he is. He's just a cute little guy. Let's do that. And yeah, we got there. Oh, did I forget to hit the... There we go. There we go. Okay. What are we doing? This is just a little guy. He is... I like how he's introduced to someone who's like, I'm gonna go to this technology convention to see what, like, all these companies are doing. Not actually that smart. Like, it made me think that, like, Theodore was going to be, like, a smarty protagonist, and he's just kind of... He's just kind of trying. He's trying his best. I was, like, a little bit afraid he was going to be one of those protagonists that was like, oh no, like, I'm only thinking horny things, but that kind of stops pretty early. He has, like, a couple lines of dialogue when he meets Ro. Or, like, internal thoughts where he's like, oh my god, big wolfer. But yeah, that stops pretty early. Granted, like, same though. Like with with like Ro, like Jesus, why is he so thick? Why you gotta be that big? Chord progression flashbacks. They made a joke about that on their Blue Sky. They were like, cringe protagonist, one that just sits there and ogles over men or some shit. And I'm like, oh, well. They certainly know. Is anyone actually playing that game? I haven't, like, followed up on it since the demo, because I had heard that, like, they wanted to put in voice acting at some point, so I stopped keeping up with it, because I'm like, well, no reason for me to read it on the channel if they're going to, like, add in voice acting, right? It has 5 builds? Only 5? I almost thought it would be farther along, because it's been a while since I've played the demo, right? They give them more time and care. What? Terrible. I want weekly bills. It's fine, I understand. Oh yeah, the FVN boom of COVID. Yeah. I think a lot of people realized that they just couldn't keep up with that workload post-COVID. Because what a lot of those projects just died, right? Where they're just like, oh, I have to go back to work. Bye. Oh, this one's gonna be awkward. Yeah, let's do it this way. Yeah, Yeah. Yeah. That's fine. Also, I noticed I forgot to fill in these. The Tigu, yeah, he's cute. He's a little guy. I mean, he's really not little. He's like 6'7", which is like, excuse me. I think the wolf is like 7'7". And I'm like, what? Why you gotta be like that? Why is he so tall? He's little in vibes. Yeah, he is. Cause like I saw key, like when you see key art of Theodore, it's like, oh, well, he's like a large lad, and you start reading, and you're like, so I'm playing as like a small man, right? Like when you start reading his inner monologue. Just because he comes across as like a timid small boy in his thingy thing. It's so your wolf can carry you away. Like, sure, I guess. It's fine. It's fine. No, it's no problem. I know that there's a boar that shows up later in that game, because I've seen, like, the sprite for him, but he hasn't showed up as far as I've recorded. But, you know, I'm looking forward to that, because he looks cute. He also seems like the main character, and it's like, oh no, he looks awkward. Like, he doesn't know why he's here in this scene. Like, that's what his sprite tells me. He's got that vibe to him. It is what it is. But it's like, okay. Like, I'm sure that'll be at some point. Because, like, how far along is my uploads for Rain Check? It's like the first 4 parts. I think I've recorded like 9, but it's fine. It's fine. I hope you guys will check that one out, and Inchinya, because those have been really fun to actually like just record. Just because, like, I don't know, I don't have like the most fun recording like Remember the Flowers. No offense to that game. No offense to that game. Okay, okay, it's fine. I think in Shinny it's that I just like voicing those characters. They're a lot of fun, like, to read. But it is what it is. But all right, everyone. I think we'll be wrapping up for this evening. I hope you all have enjoyed and that you enjoyed the drawing. I'll post it on the website formerly known as Twitter later or something after I go eat. I'm kind of hungry. So I'll... yeah, I hope you've enjoyed, and I'll see you guys around.